Cafeology endeavours to be 100% ethical in everything we do, so becoming carbon neutral is something that we believe every business should be striving towards as soon as possible. It's our moral duty as a species to ensure that our planet is protected for future generations, and businesses must play their part in combating climate change. Therefore, it is our goal to become carbon neutral by 2025. 4 years is not a very long time. However, we genuinely believe this will be achievable through challenging work, careful planning, and our own ingenuity. By calculating our annual carbon emissions, we can compensate for these current emissions, as well as reduce emissions by implementing new processes and technologies, or by altering the pre-existing ones to be greener. Then, over time, we will thoroughly monitor and review our progress in order to help maintain carbon neutrality alongside economic growth of the company. In order to achieve carbon neutrality by 2025, our environmental management team have set apart various reduction strategies to meet along the way, culminating in carbon neutral status. We currently have a fleet of electric company cars and a singular electric van. This electric van is currently on trial so that we can see how they differ from diesel vans. Ultimately, our remaining diesel vans will then be replaced with electric vans, and once our electric charging point is installed outside our roastery, we'll be able to charge our entire fleet of vehicles using the clean energy generated from our building solar panels. Meanwhile, we are constantly optimising our delivery routes so that during the transition period over to electric fleets, we can minimise our mileage and therefore reduce our carbon emissions associated with the deliveries. Additionally, we aim to reduce our energy usage within the roastery. Our roastery is already a BREEAM accredited building. However, we currently are working alongside Sheffield City Council to audit our building's energy usage and assess if there's any further improvements that can be made. Similarly, roasting coffee involves burning gas to roast the coffee beans. We therefore have a chimney which is needed to vent away the smoke and upper emissions. We aim to install catalytic converters within these chimneys in the hopes that we can reduce emissions as well as removing other unnecessary chemicals and smoke from the chimney's fumes. However, with current technologies, we understand it's impossible to become fully carbon neutral by reductions alone. Therefore, what we cannot reduce, we will offset. Everyone on Earth shares a singular atmosphere, so by investing in carbon offsetting projects around the world, we can account for the carbon that we are unable to reduce by funding others to reduce their own carbon footprints. The most important consideration when creating our plan for carbon neutrality is that we reduce our carbon emissions as much as possible while still maintaining the quality of our products and the services that we provide. For example, we currently hand deliver to our local customers using diesel vans. We pride ourselves in the fact that our hand deliveries ensure safe delivery of the product, as well as allowing us to maintain constant contact with our customers on a personal basis. As we transition to electric vans, we still have to use our diesel vans as we do not want to compromise on the quality of our service. It is a misconception that electric vans are completely emissions free, as they are only as emission free as the electricity that charges them. Therefore, it's important to us to ensure that we have the infrastructure in place to charge our vans cleanly before we commit to a fully electric van fleet. So until we have the charging point installed within our roastery, we will continue to optimise our delivery routes as well as monitor our emissions so that we can offset them in the future. Additionally, another important consideration is making sure that we can effectively communicate our plans with our stakeholders. Cafeology always strives to be fully ethical and sustainable, and we want to reassure our customers that the products that they purchase are as good as we promise. However, certain misinformation can make less ethical or sustainable products seem more appealing to customers. For example, emissions from transport of coffee is unavoidable. This leads to challenges when customers want to buy locally in order to be better for the environment. Since coffee is grown around the equator, coffee cannot be grown locally in the UK, which means it must be transported across the ocean before it reaches the roastery in the UK. This means that where the coffee is roasted doesn't necessarily make much of a difference emission-wise, but a misinformed customer might choose to buy local coffee with no other sustainability credentials over another coffee that is far more ethical and sustainable. First and foremost, we must engage with our fantastic team of employees to ensure that the plans are achieved to their fullest potential. Affectionately dubbed Teamology, there are less than 20 of us within the company, and each and every one of us align with the company's ethics and values. In order for us to become carbon neutral by 2025, each member of Teamology must fully understand what they need to do and why it needs to be done. Therefore, I personally put together a quick presentation that not only outlined our full plan, but also spent time to dispel any myths on climate change and helped everyone understand the gravity of what we want to achieve. The presentation also allowed for an open forum where there was no such thing as a stupid question. This way, we are certain that Teamology are fully prepared for the journey ahead. Secondly, we cannot forget about our farmers at origin. Due to our close direct trade relationships with certain producers, we are in a unique position that allows us to work closely with them regarding sustainability. We engage at every stage possible to provide technical assistance and advice in order to support and encourage our sustainability supply chain practices. For example, we can consolidate deliveries and even collaborate on large-scale products. For example, our coffee production and co-production program plans to engage with universities both at origin and here in the UK to help enhance sustainability of our Colombian farmers. This project will determine the feasibility of aquaponics in combination with vertical farming for growing secondary crops in smallhold coffee farms. The combination of vertical farming and hydroponics will provide an efficient secondary crop growing system that produces larger, more reliable yields in a smaller space whilst being not labour nor resource intensive, and has the added bonus of additional protein sources from fish as part of the aquaponic system. Using these technologies will provide solutions to challenges that are seen during secondary crop farming, particularly the lack of space for non-coffee crops, soil degradation, and unreliable growing conditions. Collectively, the project will cover the UN sustainability goals of no poverty, no hunger, good health and well-being, gender equality, reduced inequalities, and potentially more as the project progresses. Finally, last but not least, our customers are important too. We will continually foster a close relationship with each of our customers, be it a large university students' union or a small independent coffee shop. Every customer is equally deserving of our care and attention. Likewise, we expect our customers to hold us to the high standards that we set for ourselves and to make sure that we fulfill our promises. Without our customers' continued support, we wouldn't be able to offer services such as zero waste packaging or more efficient deliveries, and we certainly wouldn't be able to implement these changes necessary to reach carbon neutral by 2025. Student unions play a vital role in driving sustainability and positive action on climate change. Unions provide a place where students have a voice that is listened to. But being a recent graduate myself, I understand that many students have an incredibly strong feeling regarding climate change. Many students want to do everything in their power to fight climate change, and students' unions are a fantastic platform to help drive that fight. By engaging with your students' union, you can not only have your voices heard, but you can also enact change. Many student unions offer elections where you can either run for a role yourself or vote for a fellow student that has the same beliefs as yourself. If you want your union to stock only ethically and sustainably produced products, then you have the ability to make that so. If you think that there are more sustainable options available, then you can make your voice heard. Student unions exist to be a hub whereby you can be supported and cared for while you're on your journey at university, and if you believe your journey will be improved if your union does X, Y, or Z, then you have the right to make that known. At Cafeology, we can help your students' union deliver on driving sustainability and positive action against climate change, first and foremost by supplying them with ethically sourced sustainable products. Meanwhile, we will continually endeavour to improve our sustainability credentials and work our way to carbon neutrality in the background to ensure that our products are the best that they can be. Additionally, we are more than happy to work with any other students' unions that wish to reach out. As a company, we care about people above anything else, and we cherish the opportunities to work more closely with each and every one of our customers. Cafeology and its tagline "Great Coffee, Great Cause" was first founded on the principles that every Cafeology branded coffee would be at least fair trade certified. Some products have gone steps further, attaining organic and even bird-friendly accreditations. Our bird-friendly coffee specifically won the Guardian Sustainability Award in 2015 due to how this shade-grown coffee helps to protect migratory bird habitat in coffee-grown regions. In addition to the products themselves, we also engage in community work abroad. For example, our coffee production and co-production program involves working with universities both at origin and here in the UK to enhance sustainability of our Colombian farmers. This project will determine the feasibility of aquaponics in combination with vertical farming for growing secondary crops in smallhold coffee farms. This combination of vertical farming and hydroponics will provide an effective secondary growing system that produces larger, more sustainable yields in a smaller space, whilst being not labour nor resource intensive, and has the added bonus of additional protein sources from the fish as part of the aquaponic system. Using these technologies will provide solutions to challenges seen in secondary crop farming, particularly the lack of space for non-coffee crops, soil degradation, and unreliable growing conditions. Collectively, the project will cover the UN sustainability goals of no poverty, no hunger, good health and well-being, gender equality, reduced inequalities, and potentially more as the project progresses. We want to help enhance our local community as well. We wish to utilise our barista training facilities at our roastery to run workshops for local teenagers to give them the skills necessary to get part-time barista work, thereby helping young people to get into the world of work and start earning some money. Meanwhile, our path towards carbon neutrality will also involve more sustainable practices at our roastery. We do not throw anything away unnecessarily, with the aim to reuse as much as possible. We therefore store our coffee chaff, which is a byproduct of coffee roasting, and our spent hethane in sacks left after the roasting process. We are currently collaborating with various companies that have uses for these, including farmers and garden centres. Additionally, we will use our homemade compost, reused whiskey barrels, and rainwater from our water butts to create a wildflower garden outside our roastery in the aims to support pollinator species that are adversely affected by the industrialised area. Likewise, we want to set up bird feeders and sustainably built insect hotels to promote as much wildlife as physically possible in the local area. Once these wildlife promoting features are in place, we then intend to set up a wildlife survey recording what animal species visit and how often to measure the effectiveness of these projects.